Prince Harry's life has never been ordinary. From his childhood in the British royal family to his service in the military, his journey has been filled with public attention and personal struggles. Known for his charismatic and rebellious character, Harry faced both the pressures of the public eye and his own private issues. But no one could have predicted the events that would shake the foundations of the royal family and change his future forever. At the age of 40, Prince Harry finally confessed to something many had long suspected. But before we find out what he said, let's take a step back and explore the past to understand how it all unfolded. The troubled marriage of Diana and Charles was one of the most talked about unions of the 20th century. Their relationship seemed to have all the ingredients of a fairy tale, but quickly turned into a public and painful spectacle. Diana, a young woman with little experience in royal life, married Charles, the heir to the British throne. The wedding, watched by millions around the world, was a grand event, and everyone saw it as a fairy tale romance. However, behind the polished image was the harsh reality of the relationship, which soon became far from ideal. Diana quickly learned that Charles remained emotionally attached to Camilla Parker Bowles, someone he had known before meeting Diana. Camilla, an aristocrat with more experience in royal circles, had caught Charles's attention long before Diana. Despite her love for Charles, Diana soon realized that her husband was unwilling to sever ties with Camilla. Charles continued to secretly meet with her, which deeply hurt Diana. Over the years, the tension of this love triangle became more public, especially as the media began to take an increasing interest in their private lives. Diana, once known for her grace and kindness, began to show signs of emotional distress. Her pain became more evident, and her relationship with Charles grew more distant. The media closely followed every move of the couple, and it soon became clear that the relationship between them had deteriorated. Charles, who was increasingly focused on his relationship with Camilla, left Diana to continue with her royal duties, despite the turmoil in her personal life. In 1992, Diana released the book Diana, Her True Story, written by journalist Andrew Morton, where she shared her side of the story and opened up about her struggles and emotional turmoil during her marriage to Charles. The book shocked the world, revealing the emotional upheaval Diana had experienced and the details of Charles's affair with Camilla. The royal family, already under intense scrutiny, could no longer ignore the growing rift between the couple. Diana and Charles officially separated, though they did not divorce, and their relationship was effectively over. The separation marked a major turning point for both parties, and the royal family, despite its efforts to maintain a united public front, could no longer shield itself from the increasing public discontent. Diana remained beloved by the public, and her popularity grew after the divorce, while Charles continued his relationship with Camilla. In 1996, their divorce was finalized, marking the end of a turbulent chapter in the lives of both. After the divorce, Diana's life continued to attract intense public attention, and her personal life became even more of a topic for discussion. One of the most talked about aspects of her post-marriage life was her affair with James Hewitt, a former British Army officer. Their romance, which began during Diana's marriage, was seen by many as her way of getting back at Charles for his affair with Camilla. James, whom Diana had met while still married to Charles, became her emotional support during a time when she felt isolated and abandoned by her husband. Although their relationship was initially kept secret, it soon became public knowledge, and the media eagerly followed their every move. James, initially unaware of the full weight of his position, soon found himself under the microscope, as the couple struggled with the pressures of being in the public eye. Their romance became one of the most discussed aspects of Diana's life, with many viewing it as her way of taking control of her own narrative and asserting her right to love, especially after years of emotional pain caused by Charles's betrayal. By the early 1990s, Diana and James's relationship began to cool, and by 1992 it had officially ended. However, the romance had played a significant role in Diana's life, giving her the opportunity to regain her sense of self-worth and take control of her own happiness. What challenges did she face during her marriage to Charles after her relationship with Diana ended? James briefly returned to his military career before moving on to other endeavors. Like many others connected to Diana, he became part of her story. After her divorce from Charles, their relationship, though ending years before Diana's tragic death, became a symbol of her search for love, happiness, and emotional self-realization. But there was one undeniable element that haunted the entire British monarchy: rumors that stemmed from the complex relationships within the royal family, especially from the personal struggles that Charles and Diana went through. While the world focused on the dramatic collapse of their marriage, the consequences for their children, especially Harry, were deep. The divorce, Charles's affair with Camilla, and the subsequent split left an indelible mark on young Harry. He was born in 1984, becoming the second son of Charles and Diana. His older brother, William, was born 2 years earlier. Despite their privileged position, the children were not immune to the tensions in the family. Their parents had always had a strained relationship, but when details of Charles's affair with Camilla and the breakdown of their marriage became public, it was a shock to the royal family and profoundly impacted the children. For Harry, the news of his father's infidelity became not just a cause for public embarrassment, it was a personal betrayal. Although he didn't fully understand the complexities of his parents' marriage, the changes happening around him were palpable. The emotional pain Diana had already suffered, having endured years of isolation and neglect in her marriage to Charles, was also evident to Harry and his brother. They felt that their family was no longer the unified front it once seemed to be. As the breakdown of the marriage became more public, the media's attention on Diana's personal life, including her mental health struggles and infidelities, exacerbated the situation for the children. They were too young to fully grasp the emotional complexity of the situation, but they could feel the tension and the changes in family dynamics. Harry was around 10 years old when his parents officially separated in 1992, and it was a painful time that left a lasting impact on him. Harry struggled to reconcile the image of his father, the future king, with the reality of a man who had betrayed his mother. While William, the older brother, often took on the role of defender of the family, Harry was more inclined to rebellion. His behavior became increasingly difficult for those around him. As a child, he found it hard to accept his parents' divorce, especially the fact that his father had been unfaithful to Diana. The divorce, finalized in 1996, became a highly public affair, and discussions about it in the media only intensified the pressure on the children, who found themselves at the center of it all. Rumors about Harry's paternity, particularly the theory that James Hewitt, a British Army officer and Diana's former lover, could be his biological father, surfaced soon after the divorce. This was a sensational theory that gained traction due to the resemblance between Harry and James. Harry and James did indeed share similar physical traits, especially in their youth, and the media widely promoted these rumors, making life even more difficult for Harry, who was already dealing with the heavy burden of public life. The rumors about his paternity continued to follow Harry for many years, and at one point, the prince himself began to question whether there was any truth to these speculations. However, by 2014, as events unfolded, Harry finally acknowledged that Diana's romance with Hewitt began only after he was born, making it biologically impossible for James to be his father. Harry publicly stated that the rumors about James were baseless and that his biological father was, of course, Prince Charles. Nevertheless, despite this official statement, the rumors persisted, and Harry was forced to take legal action against the press, which continued to spread false information about his paternity. This lawsuit was a direct response to the ongoing speculation, which, as it turned out, caused him significant emotional distress. Although the rumors about James Hewitt were debunked, they continued to haunt him to this day.